Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the study. Going to be talking about a recent trade I made taking advantage of the deep sell-off in Bitcoin, which yielded over about a 400% return. I kept running after that, but I ended up taking my money out at 400%. I shared this trade with the Trade Study Vision members, and most of you were surprised that we could actually trade an ETF on the stock market that follows Bitcoin. How cool is that, right? And well, the question comes up, how exactly do you do this and what ticker? But before I mention the ticker, I must say the following as always. With every video I post on YouTube, none of this is a recommendation to buy or sell any security and is for educational purposes only. If you guys are enjoying my videos and have found them helpful, I need a huge favor. Please make sure to like the video. That helps me out a ton and it is greatly appreciated. On that note, we got that out of the way, and the ticker symbol, as you may have see here, is BITO, BITO. This is ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, and the cool thing about this is you don't have to create an account on Coinbase, Gemini, or any of the many different crypto exchange platforms out there. Now, it is important to note that this ETF does not spot directly the price of Bitcoin. Works completely different from that. It is an ETF that is focused on the short-term future derivative contracts. So I don't want to get too heavy into the details, which you can actually look this up in the ETF itself if you're interested in learning more about it. The key here is to note that we can take advantage of short-term derivative futures tied to Bitcoin via this BITO BITO by trading options on the stock market. So if you are interested, they do have a prospectus, and all this information is in here. Very important details on how the regulations come into play. It's actually regulated by a commission on futures trading, the investing risk, the unique risks associated with it, portfolio turnover, the expenses, all of that information is in there. So back to the video now. The main idea of this trade was to capture downside exposure in the market, which stocks were deep in the red and premiums to purchase puts were expensive. But I noticed the crypto market had just started making a move down and thought to myself, maybe I can capture Bitcoin exposure to the downside here. As the stock market continues its move downwards, I won't have to spend that much in premium, and my time frame is going to be short too, right? So all the stocks are expensive to play the downside because of the selling, and crypto's just making its move down, so why not, right? I want a short time frame, 1 to 2 weeks. That means I'm expecting volatility. Remember, the shorter the time frame, prices on options are more sensitive due to the pending expiration date coming up. And if you're expecting a volatile move in the specific underlying asset you're trading via options, then this is the perfect formula to obtain those ridiculous percentage gains that you see on trading options that people start sharing online about how much money they make, and social media and all that stuff. So it does involve some sort of element of timing, and people will say that. But I counter that with a more important point, and it's about taking advantage of a key moment where equity markets are on fire and a global economic backdrop is taking place, with the Fed laying out a plan to increase interest rates rapidly. We have rampant inflation. We have supply chain issues, a string of awful economic reports. You get it. There's a lot of news going on. And knowing all of this information and being able to pay a reasonable price on these options contracts, I knew I had to take this opportunity. And that's why I have my Thinkorswim pulled up here. Exactly on this day, about a week ago, June 10th, around 2 p.m., when I was just looking at the market, and you could see that the SPY is just awful. Look at this plunge, a deep red from the 410s, 415s, 416 to all the way down here. Then I was looking at Uber, growth companies, dividend companies, and just trying to get a feel. And then, hey, I pulled up BITO up here, and you know what I noticed here? Look at this. There was already something going on here, and you'll see the trend. Oh, I went a little too close in there, and you see the trend, and this thing is in a downtrend, and so I figured, hey, there was already a nice leg down here, right? Let me zoom in. And you also had consolidation taking place here. And look, another leg down. Consolidation, right? The price is stuck between these levels. And then you have, again, consolidation happening here. This is perfect, and it's been consolidating for about almost the same time length, and I am waiting for a big move to the downside. So what do I do here now? I go to the options chain, and again, I want that 1-2 weeks time frame, and I am looking, and I don't want to go too far out. I want to make sure that I can get kind of close to the money so I can have that intrinsic value added to the options contract. I have traded these before and have had not much success, and those were out of the monies and they didn't move a whole lot. So I really wanted something closer to the money to make sure that if there isn't that much of a move, then I could take advantage of the intrinsic value. I ended up going with the 17. I really thought we would get at least $1 move on BITO, and I felt comfortable going with the 17 just in case I can get to the break even, take my profits, or break even and cut my losses, or given the short time frame of the expiration, there's a lot of risk here. These prices can move very fast, and that's what we saw. So I'm waiting for this drop to follow equity markets, and we fast forward to Monday now, right? Let's go here. And we're waiting for it to load now. And you have a whole weekend that took place, and look at that. We had a big sell-off, and these contracts just ran like crazy from 49 cents to $2 above, even reaching 3. And if you held on to them for the rest of the week, which I didn't, I think they reached 4 at one point. So that's pretty close to 1,000%, I think, if I'm doing the math right in my head. But anyways, back to the story here of this trade is that we actually caught, again, going back to charting here, just following the pattern of consolidation, a leg down. This was a huge gap down, 18% on the day. I think it went even lower than that. And look at that. Stocks are doing awful here too. So what we did is that we took advantage of the timing element that I had mentioned before. You have news in circulation. You have a rare opportunity, a rare historic moment with what's happening in the world, and this kind of like burning the house is on fire kind of analogy going on. Insurance is so expensive, and if you're playing puts on stocks, it's very difficult because the house is already on fire, therefore the insurance is already expensive, if you get me. That's kind of like one of the analogies I like to use. But we weren't that hot on crypto. It seemed like it was cooling down because we had this consolidation taking place. And guess what? We caught the leg down and we turned a small sum of money into a large sum of money. And that is the beauty of options trading and kind of the cool concept that, hey, you can short Bitcoin, you could bet against it just by buying puts using this ETF. But of course, with any options trade, that I tell everybody is that the amount that you're putting in should be that amount that you assume to be lost. If you put $200 like we did, that $200 is lost. So you have to make sure, because options are a very risky investment tool. So you always have to make sure you know what you're doing, your risk tolerance, all those good things. And that's all I have on that trade, guys. I didn't want to make this too long of a video, but I did get a lot of questions. Wanted to put something quick together for y'all, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're interested in learning more about the Trade Study Vision program I have, visit me at thetradestudy.com. You can subscribe, sign up there, stay up to date on my YouTube videos by clicking the like, subscribe. I'm also on Instagram where I post some content, fun stuff there. And I just want to say thank you again for watching and hope this video helped you out. I'll see you in the next one.